When it comes to making a responsible energy decision for your family and the planet, choose clean natural gas from Atmos Energy. Natural gas is safer and more reliable than other energy solutions and can reduce your home's carbon emissions by up to 45%. By using less total energy than other energy sources, natural gas lowers your impact on the environment. It's just another way that Atmos Energy makes your life better. Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
You work hard to protect what is precious. We stand beside you, behind you, with caring doctors and nurses who work at Blue Cross to keep you healthy. You can count on us to help you. Protect every day.
The Quarter Pounder with cheese. The perfect ratio of cheese to beef to cheese. Its inventor thought burger and then stopped thinking. What it lacks in frills, it makes up for in beef. The only thing that's fancy about it is the ketchup. It's everything you love about a burger and absolutely nothing else. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hello and welcome to segment 1 of week 4 of the Coach Roger Cador Show. Clarence Buggs along with the coach at the Embassy Suites Hotel, 4914 Constitution Avenue, Baton Rouge's newly remodeled Showcase Hotel, and more important, the longtime host of the Coach Roger Cador Show. Coach, since the last time we were with our at-home audience, we hit the road, travel up to Arkansas to take on the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff Golden Lions. Santos Saldivar gets the nod from game 1, goes the distance in a game we could have won.
Should have won. He pitched very well, made a couple of mistakes that cost us some run. We lost 2-0. And then we had so many opportunities where we had runners on base and we couldn't get that key hit.
9 strikeouts, only 1 earned run while going the distance. Obviously, this is the type of performance that we've been looking for all season long from our starting pitching.
You want to get that kind of performance, and you got to win. You got to put that wedge in the ground and make sure you hit the ball off of it. And I mean, all we've got to do is just believe in ourselves a little more, believe that we could do it. Except in these cases, we're not facing dominant type pitchers.
Mm-hmm. A guy like Santos, how do you stop this young man from becoming discouraged, getting down on himself at this point in the season, 0-4? Now, we all know the potential that this young man has. And out of those 4 games, with the exception of the first game, where when for whatever reason he wasn't listening to, buying into what the coaching staff was telling him, the direction you were trying to take him in, but take that one game out of this 0-4 start, and obviously his potential is much more than 0-4.
Well, just like last year when he was 3-0, it should have been 11-0. Everything is reversed. We're not giving him the runs. But the thing I look at is that a kid like Santos is that he's been through the most difficult trials in his life. His parents are immigrants from Mexico, and they got to the United States the most difficult way. And he learned the value of hard work and having determination and value.
Obviously, when you look at the final South Dakota State game, the final UAPB game, we're starting to show some signs of improvement as far as the gelling of the team. What's been the biggest improvement that you've noticed so far to date?
In those 2 particular wins, we were able to concentrate on achieving team things, little things, staying in there, putting the ball in play, not striking out. And when we do those things, we're going to be successful.
Is it just human nature? Many times the little things, doing them well, concentrating on the little things can sometimes be the hardest thing to overcome.
Very difficult because we live in a world where people want the big bam.
Right.
Oh, everybody live for it. But the people who are successful are the ones who are doing the little things every day. And it becomes extremely important and successful.
The little things. Remember that, those of you that aspire to do great things. When we come back, it's segment 2 of this week's edition of the Coach Roger Cador Show. Stay with us.
The Coach Roger Cador Show is proudly sponsored by Shoppers Value Foods, formerly Piggly Wiggly.
You don't have to understand the physics of flying to fly easy. Baton Rouge Metropolitan Airport.
Eureka! What in tarnation? It's gold! The gold rush is on!
The rush is on for Gold Rush from the lottery. Win up to $200,000.
It's gold!
Get in the rush with Gold Rush from the lottery.
Trust is the key that transforms strangers into friends.
At Southern Teachers and Parents Federal Credit Union, we believe in lending a helping hand.
Transforming your dreams into reality. Because with friends, you can do anything.
Come on by and check out our competitive loan rates. We'll see your dreams come to life.
Whichever loan, we have you covered.
Hi, Coach Roger Cador here. I know adversity, and when you need legal help, you need to find Fletcher now.
Coach is always right. When you've been hurt, we can help.
Lawyer up with Ralph, Richard, and Ryan. They know the law.
I'm attorney Ralph Fletcher. Our law firm helps people every day. We can help you.
Make sure you cover all your bases. Call Ralph, Richard, and Ryan, 888-8000.
Or findfletchernow.com.
888-8000.
Welcome back for segment 2 of this week's edition of the Coach Roger Cador Show. Coach, with the slow start and the underperforming start that we had early in the season, you made no bones about it. You would tell anyone that would listen far and wide that you were not against tinkering or making major shifts in the lineup. One of the kids that took advantage of that particular philosophy, James Fontenot, gets the nod in game 2 and makes the most of it.
Two great games in a row where it was just out of Coach Canavera came to me and said, I tell you what, Coach, let's start Fontenot and see what he could do rather than relieve him.
Right.
And he's been 8 innings and 7 innings. And he's given us a chance. And just the way he's pitched, the way he's been in control, changing speed, hitting spots, made it easy for the team to respond.
And of course, James Fontenot was not the only different person in the lineup. He did some tinkering in a couple of other spots as well.
Certainly, I put Sergio Torres at first, never played first before, and I DH Gavin Webster. Not in another spot, I laid him off. And he's been struggling bad. But Gavin Webster is the greatest person you're going to ever meet. And you know what? He took a couple of at-bats, and I said, Gavin, come on, you got to do better. He said, Coach, tell me what I can do better. Help me. And you know what? He performed after that. I told him, make this adjustment, and he hit the ball better. Got a big triple to blow the game up.
Fontenot goes 7 innings, strikes out 8 batters, only allows 2 runners. Are our pitchers now starting to adopt the attitude that until the bats come around the way we need them to come around, that it's pretty much on them?
Yeah, well, they're going to go out and do the very best that they can to keep the game where you could win.
Right.
Now, it's up to our hitters because baseball is different than football and basketball, where in those two sports, you can make a great defensive play and you can score. Not in baseball. Baseball is all predicated on you have to make offensive plays here happen, and each guy in the lineup has to do something.
But now, from a coaching standpoint, along that same line, how tough is it to stop the starting pitchers from trying to do too much, thinking that I'm not going to get much run support, therefore this thing is pretty much all on me?
Well, we never want them to think that way, because the team concept will always be priority.
Right.
It'll be a priority thing, and we need to make sure they understand it. Make them put the ball in play, make quality pitches off the plate, and that's how we're going to be successful.
Robinson Mateo got the timely hit, that run-scoring triple when we needed it most. How big was that hit, Coach?
Extremely big. You know what? He's in the lineup because he's the one guy that brings energy and want to help his teammate as much as Marcus Tomlin. Without those two guys, we're in trouble, because after that, we're not going to say the other kids are selfish. They just don't know. They don't know that it's better to help give of themselves to help others. They're thinking, I've got to do it all for myself. But Marcus Tomlin and Robinson Mateo thinks about the team, and life is easy for them. I look at how unhappy the other kids are because they're thinking about themselves.
After that hit, we scored in the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th innings. Just like recently, it seems like it's contagious with this team. We'll struggle, but when we get that one timely hit, it's as though the switch comes on, and now it's contagious.
It is contagious. Now, the key is, after a couple of days has passed, let's see, can they turn that switch on one more time.
When we come back, we will move ahead to segment 3 of this week's edition of the Coach Roger Cador Show. Stay close.
You work hard to protect what matters most: your family, your life, your health. We stand behind you with caring doctors and nurses who work at Blue Cross to keep you healthy. Thank you for relying on us to help you. Protect every day.
You don't have to understand the physics of flying to fly easy. Baton Rouge Metropolitan Airport.
Hey, Coach, it sounds like savings to me.
Yes, that and an easy Diamond Mazda buying experience.
As easy as can be. Just go to your computer or your cell phone, go to DiamondMazda.com, view all our inventory, new and pre-owned, apply for credit, and get approved in seconds.
Now, that sounds easy, Jeremy.
On Airline Highway or on the web, you know, we'll be waiting for you.
The Quarter Pounder with cheese. The perfect ratio of cheese to beef to cheese. Its inventor thought burger and then stopped thinking. What it lacks in frills, it makes up for in beef. The only thing that's fancy about it is the ketchup. It's everything you love about a burger, and absolutely nothing else. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Welcome back to segment 3 of this week's edition of the Coach Roger Cador Show. Coach, quality at bats eluded us for a part of this early season and plagued us last year as well. But we seem to be on the road to rectifying that. From a coaching standpoint, how difficult is it to coach the kids to get that timely hit?
Well, I don't want to get into that. What I try to make kids understand, every at-bat is important.
Right.
Every at-bat is important, and you try to execute the fundamental that we talked about. See the ball, stride, and swing. And if we can keep them in that mental focus, they're going to enjoy more success. Even though baseball, to be successful, you still fail 7 out of 10 times. Extremely difficult sport to play. But, you know, I don't want kids to pressure themselves when we got runners in scoring position.
Right.
And I could see I could really see guys are trying to do way too much. And the one thing I always say, step out, take a deep breath. There is some value in that because you relax the body. When you take a deep breath, the body seems to relax. And every professional athlete you see, they do it.
We've lost games by a run or two. We've been blown out in games. From a coaching standpoint, which one of those bothers Roger Cador more?
All of them do. They're all lost. They all do. Listen, I'm at the point in my life, if you lose by 1 or 100, it's still a loss. People don't understand that. They're both devastating because you probably thought you should have done something to win the close one.
Right.
Where the one that's a big blowout, you probably didn't think you had a chance to win. So they're all devastating. So you live with them and you move forward.
The final South Dakota State game, the final UAPB game, showed that we can swing the bat and generate runs. How do we now go about developing the consistency that we need for this team to live up to the potential that it has?
Just continue to do little things good. If we stay with the program and do the little things, I've told them over and over, we don't have anyone can do big things. And that's okay. But we all can do little things that we bunch them together and it'll be big things.
Is that a symptom of what our society has become? We no longer focus on being the contributor of the little things in the effort for the whole. Instead, most people now are all about the big bang themselves.
Well, they come here with some fantasy someone has said, you can do big things. And that's what happened. Rather than what now we got to try and reprogram them into a team environment and let them know everybody have a share that they have to do. Wherever you're at the beginning of the rope or at the end of the rope or in the middle, you still have to do your share. And sometimes it's lost because people become a little selfish.
Have you seen the team respond to your I will play anybody who produces for the team philosophy so far? And have there been any pleasant surprises in that regard?
Well, you know, I mentioned Robertson Mateo.
Right.
We got him late because they didn't clear him academically until late. He's been the biggest surprise. And, you know, I look at people like Gavin Webster, just a beautiful person to have on the team. He does everything he can to help everyone else. And the other person is Marcus Tomlin and Lance Jones. Those guys are the guys that has really you got me.
Bless you.
Those are the guys that have done the things that we've been asking them to do.
When we come back, we'll have a special look at the week in the life of a coach from a preparation standpoint. Live TV, you gotta love it. We'll be back with more of the Coach, bless you, Roger Cador Show.
Hi, Coach Roger Cador here. I know adversity, and when you need legal help, you need to find Fletcher now.
Coach is always right. When you've been hurt, we can help.
Lawyer up with Ralph, Richard, and Ryan. They know the law.
I'm attorney Ralph Fletcher. Our law firm helps people every day. We can help you.
Make sure you cover all your bases. Call Ralph, Richard, and Ryan, 888-8000.
Or find FletcherNow.com.
888-8000.
Trust is the key that transforms strangers into friends.
At Southern Teachers and Parents Federal Credit Union, we believe in lending a helping hand.
Transforming your dreams into reality. Because with friends, you can do anything.
Come on by and check out our competitive loan rates. We'll see your dreams come to life.
Whichever loan, we have you covered.
Hey, Coach Roger Cador here. There's something about teamwork that brings the best out in any business. When I need a tow, I call Roadrunner Towing. Roadrunner's 4 generations strong and homegrown right here in Baton Rouge.
Thanks, Coach. There's no job too large or too small. Call Roadrunner for quick, reliable, exceptional service. We don't want an arm and a leg. We just want your toes. And remember, take time each day to be a blessing to someone. Thank you.
Beep, beep.
Welcome back to segment 4 of this week's edition of the Coach Roger Cador Show. You know, typically Mondays are, quote, off days for the coaching staff, but you're not going to catch them with their feet up, kicking back, relaxing. Ever wonder exactly what takes place on a Monday in the life of a baseball coach? Well, our special correspondent, Aaron Fulbright, has a special look. Take it away, Aaron.
Thanks, Clarence. Right, it's not an off day for the coaches. They're busy preparing for the next weekend series and beyond. At SU, Coach Cador, his assistants Dan Canaveri and Jason Anderson, who's on the road recruiting, as well as grad assistant Elliott Jones, utilized their Mondays to handle paperwork, recruits, travel arrangements, reports, and a TV show.
Another thing, for example, we're tracking kids down recruiting, and here's a young man we're recruiting. And one of the most important things is we're looking for his high school transcript and see what's going on. We'll also have a test score. So as we move through the week, those things take place. We get our training room report, we see the injuries from the weekend, and evaluate our people and make decisions on, where everybody stands.
As pitching coach, Canaveri also sets up pitching schedules and has to manage practice times where only 20 hours a week are allowed by the NCAA.
Day off from throwing, they'll do flat ground work, they'll do drill work, they will throw a bullpen. And then also during the practice days, if it ever stops raining and we get on the field, there's different days where we work on pitchers fielding practice.
Travel arrangements and keeping track of the players and their academics is another area handled on Mondays, usually by Elliott Jones.
Well, when I come into the office, I get with Coach Canaveri. We talk about the upcoming team that we're going to be facing. We try to get in contact with the different universities, get a scouting report turned in. I try to keep the guys focused because I played here, so I know what it takes to graduate. I graduated in 3 years, so that I motivate the guys to make sure they get the degree and make sure they get the grades, because we're also known as student athletes, not athlete students.
In preparation for games and travel, Canaveri said another important key to the program is Coach Derek Price. Price helps with equipment, uniforms, and more.
Get ready for the week. This week we're going on the road, and so we want to get out player equipment bags, meaning all the players get a bag, we put their number on it, and that's what they carry, their personal gear and bats and things to go on the trip. And so getting all that information out, also getting out travel itineraries, rooming lists, setting up meals, setting up the hotel room, and things like that. So there's a lot of action that takes place when you go on a road trip, trying to set everything up. And we have to decide a 25-man roster and get all those rosters and everything squared up.
Coach Cador spends his Mondays answering emails, phone calls, and meeting with his staff, and of course preparing for his show. Why do a show during season? Coach said it's great to get a message out there.
Just like with the show, I try to use it to teach what happened previous, and always talking about, especially if young people watch it, or older people watching, to tell them why this happened, how we can improve in doing that. It's just a variety of things, but I also use it as a form of entertainment that want to make people watch it every Monday night. And that's one of the things that I think the popularity of the show is, that it's not a sit on your hand type show and talk. It's more of an entertainment and fun, and just let it all hang out.
It's safe to say that Mondays are used for paperwork, organization, and preparation in baseball season. No off days for our coaches. Back to you, Clarence.
Aaron, thank you. When we come back, we wrap up this week's edition of the Coach Roger Cador Show. Stay close.
Tarnation, it's gold! The gold rush is on!
The rush is on for Gold Rush from the lottery. Win up to $200,000.
It's gold!
Get in the rush with Gold Rush from the lottery.
Hey, Coach. It sounds like savings to me.
Yes, that and an easy Diamond Mazda buying experience.
As easy as can be. Just go to your computer or your cell phone, go to DiamondMazda.com, view all our inventory, new and pre-owned, apply for credit, and get approved in seconds.
Now, that sounds easy, Jeremy.
On Airline Highway or on the web, you know, we'll be waiting for you.
Hey, Coach Roger Cador here. There's something about teamwork that brings the best out in any business. When I need a tow, I call Roadrunner Towing. Roadrunner's 4 generations strong and homegrown right here in Baton Rouge.
Thanks, Coach. There's no job too large or too small. Call Roadrunner for quick, reliable, exceptional service. We don't want an arm and a leg. We just want your toes. And remember, take time each day to be a blessing to someone. Thank you.
The Coach Roger Cador Show is proudly sponsored by Shoppers Value Foods, formerly Piggly Wiggly.
Welcome back for the final segment of this week's edition of the Coach Roger Cador Show. Coach, this week, Tuesday, 6 p.m., we face a pretty tall order when LSU pays a visit to Lee Hines Field.
That's extremely tall order, but you know what? Southern University is extremely fortunate that they have a #1 ranked team in the nation come and visit you at your field. That don't happen in real life. And we're fortunate in Baton Rouge that we have Paul Maneri bringing his team in.
How tough is it from a coaching standpoint to keep the team on an even keel when you have the #1 team in America coming to your place?
I don't even try. You're dealing with these guys. They're not going to listen to me.
This weekend, conference foe, Texas Southern comes to calling. Any other shakeup in the pitching rotations or otherwise, not to let any cats out of the bag?
No, the same thing. We may have to make adjustment on the playing day because of rain coming in on Saturday.
All right. We, of course, will advise you to stay abreast of the news because it could be a last-minute decision one way or the other. But as it stands right now, Tuesday looks good for LSU. On behalf of our production crew and the coach, I'm Clarence Buggs. We'll see you next week with another edition of the Coach Roger Cador Show. Till then, go Jags.